Hello, and welcome once again to another episode of Third Action. This is episode 69, and I'm your lovely GM, Jason. And these are the same three captive giants that were here last week. In the bottom left, we have Asherford, Human Ranger, played by Charlotte.
I use this time to fix my hair.
In the bottom middle, we have Greshy Ironroot, Dwarven Druid, and his dog Phelan 2, played by Will.
I'm just trying to fix my hair.
Heck yeah.
It's not working. It's still short.
You can do it. Watch.
And in the bottom right, we have Adam playing Gunn, Shough, Human Redeemer of Erastil, and his giant eagle, Rock.
Evening, everybody.
Good evening indeed. It's almost as if a weight was lifted off of the shoulders of a nation this week.
Oh, I forgot why I felt so good.
At first I thought you were talking about Sandpoint, but oh yeah.
That's exactly what I meant. That's definitely what I meant. Yay, bits.
Oh yeah, stuff happened.
Give a bit.
Yeah, some things happen in the real world and also in the game world. So let's just get right down to it. So last week on Third Action, our group of intrepid adventurers managed to hold off, just long enough for the giants to leave. The great dragon, Longtooth, great red dragon, Longtooth, fled before their might, and the rest of the giants followed suit, to the sound of some war horn in the distance. Not sure exactly what was going on. The group managed to capture one of the stone giants that was attempting to flee, and through him, so you're now basically gathered up in the market square with this stone giant, and you've convinced him, I think, in exchange for any information he has and for him to lead you to Jorgenfist. You have agreed to, well, I don't know if you've necessarily agreed to anything yet, other than you've agreed to let him live, I guess. So now he has agreed to answer any questions you want. He's still tied up there in the center of town. It's you guys, Mako, Shalelu, Father Xantus, Sheriff Hemlock, Mayor Devrin, basically everybody in town who's not injured. Actually, maybe Father Xantus probably isn't there. He's probably tending to the injured and the wounded back at the cathedral now that things have calmed down. But there is a sizable crowd gathered. So you have to keep people from throwing tomatoes and things at the giant. But once the kind of conversation is kicked up, everyone else is quiet. There's a lot of murmuring in the crowd, but you guys are able to control the flow of the conversation. So I believe the last thing that happened was he asked you, what is it you want to know? And he looks at the three of you.
So honestly, I was kind of hoping that Sheriff Hemlock would get captured because we had status on him from Father Xantus, and that could point us exactly to where they were taking the prisoners.
Alas.
Oh no. We should have thrown him into the fray.
Oh no!
You should have had
Unfortunately,
him jump into one of the backs.
he's very known. He's standing right there beside you.
But
Not that you would have even known that.
well, I put down 4 questions in the chat earlier this week, actually, and I think those are still
I did not see
the
any
ones
questions.
the only ones that I can think of, because I haven't tried since then to figure out anymore.
Technically, it's 5 questions.
I guess technically it is.
Now I have to find the question. I feel like I'm taking a test.
It's under spoiler talk.
The first one is
Discord, which we have a Discord, by the way.
Yes, we do have a Discord. It's in the show description if you want to find it. I don't want to say links out loud. That's kind of weird.
Oh, you want to say it?
www.
The first question on my list there is, where's Lucretia?
Do you ask that, or are you just looking at a...
Yes,
Shoot. Okay.
I asked the giant that.
Who's that?
The snake lady.
The Lamia? There's plenty of Lamia.
The one who's organizing this whole party. Shindig.
He looks at Gunn and then to Greshy, and then back to Gunn. There's plenty of those Lamia kin over at Jorgenfist. I don't know which one of them leads anybody. My only leaders are Terractinus and... He pauses for a moment. Mogmurian.
Mogmurian? Mogmurian. That's well. Got to deal with
And
more.
who are they?
Well, he... the mighty Mogmurian, he's one of the dark giants of old come again. His magic, the things he made. He convinced the tribes that they will all rule the lowlands again, all the way down to the sea. He's mastered the ancient arts. He'll certainly kill you all, run rough over your tiny homes with the army he's called. The fortunate few will become his slaves. You beat us today, but you won't beat us when there's 100 or so, 100,000. Mogmurian will make it happen, even if I'm not helping him. He's almost as smooth of a talker as you, little dwarf.
Greshy, the smooth talker.
Jar.
It's true.
But he's our lord and leader. He promised us glory and riches.
Oh dang, one of my lights is out. I see. And who's Terractinus?
Terractinus was the leader of our scouting party. He convinced us that you were going to be easy pickings and we'd all get rich. Obviously, he underestimated you, and he... well, I guess he's escaped.
Does that make you mad that he escaped? You'd rather we punish him for misleading you? Leading you on a suicide mission?
He thinks to himself, and then in Yotun, I guess more towards Greshy, says, my honor as a giant forbids such feelings.
So that's a yes.
What was that?
Apparently, he thinks his honor is too good for the rest of us.
That's a shame because hypothetically, if we knew where they were going, we would probably head off there at first light and then destroy the whole party. Would that be... Yeah, I think that would be the most likely thing that we would do.
Sounds about right.
It's a shame we don't know where they're going, though.
He just stares blankly at you. None of your games. Ask your questions, if you have any.
Hmm.
I will lead you to Jorgenfist and nothing more.
Well, what were you seeking in Sandpoint?
Here in Sandpoint? Well, the boss, he was supposed to be seeking a piece of the tower. I'm not sure what it's called. He looks over in the direction of the old light behind you.
That tower.
Where is it?
They just wanted a
There
piece
it
of an old tower.
He mentioned having some kind of special mission for Mokmurian, but didn't tell me what it was, didn't tell any of us. My people's elders have ways of prying secrets from stones. Perhaps the stone knew something that Lord Mokmurian needed to know. Other than that, we were just told to gather up as many greedy souls as we could, to bring them back.
When Asher was down in, I forget where I was. It was by the it was in one of the rooms off of the pool. Now I forget the name of the pool. Asher's just describing this, you know, he's like
In the catacombs.
yeah. I thought I saw something on the wall, but when I looked I couldn't see it anymore.
It was down near the rune well
Yeah.
thing, correct?
I don't know if that's has anything to do. I didn't have the role to know what it was. But I thought I saw something. Maybe there's something magical about the rocks?
Hmm.
The giant shrugs.
All right, one more question at the moment. How did you get a dragon helping you? Do you have some hold over him? Who does he serve?
Longtooth made a deal with Mokmurian. Apparently, Mokmurian's been looking for dragons of all kinds to aid in his cause.
How many dragons does he have?
As far as I'm aware, Longtooth is the first.
What does Longtooth get out of this deal?
Money, power. I don't really know. He's taken up a roost in the mountains near Jorgenfist. He only comes down to torment us or to speak with Mokmurian himself. All I was told was that he was part of today's raid. He was to be the signal for our attack.
All right. Where would the giants take the prisoners?
We were told to take the prisoners back to Jorgenfist, in the Valley of the Black Tower.
By way of where? What path would they take?
Let me see if I can... a map that shows this. I think there's a Varizia map, right? Yeah, let's do a Varizia map.
Oh, it's so much smaller.
Why didn't that actually switch? One sec. Ooh, there we go. Zoom, 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 zoom. Yeah, so he would say, well, let's see, you're in Sandpoint, right? Their plan is, well, once they have the prisoners, they intend to split up and make their way up north to the Storval Stairs. From there, they can cross over into the Storval Plains, where the Valley of the Black Tower lies. The exact paths I couldn't say. Everyone was instructed to split up as much as they could to avoid being attacked en masse. Didn't say that with a French accent as a giant. That'd be weird.
That's what you
Just pulls that out.
I gotta say, I actually kind of believe this guy.
No reason to lie to us.
Mm-hmm.
It would be a very convincing lie.
Well, more accurately, if he was to tell us the truth, then we would be shattered before the strength of his farces, whereas lying to us just shows us the weakness that giants truly are. So, I have no reason to think he'd lie to us. But you can show us the way to this Black Tower, right?
Yes, I can take you there. As long as you promise my safety and my freedom afterwards.
I cannot promise your safety once you've left us, but I can promise your freedom at that point. We will not be killing you.
Very well. I can take you to the entrance of the valley. You will be able to see the Tower Jorgenfist from there. At that point, I will leave your service and never see or hear from you again.
Well, so long as you don't join up with the rest of your brethren.
Yeah, that last
Agreed.
part's important.
No, I do not intend to go back. Not for now.
Fair enough.
Maybe after he's dealt with all of you humans. Lowlanders. Perhaps then I will return, but until then, I seek to return home. To the north. Back to the Stony Mountains.
I suppose that's reasonable.
Giant, for all the trouble you've caused, you seem to be dealing with us honorably. What's your name?
You told us it's Gargan.
You did? What?
Gargan?
Gargan. Yes.
Gargan. Right, sorry.
We went over this 10 minutes ago when we spoke last episode.
It wasn't a week.
A week ago.
That's...
Alright.
He might have said it and you thought it was Yotun or something.
Well,
Big G.
let's make sure this guy is not going to be attacked by the townsfolk the second our backs are turned.
Well, I think that would be up to Sheriff Hemlock to ensure that he's secured, ideally away from mobs of angry citizens.
And then start making our preparations. If we can, looking at the map, if we can take the river, we might be able to beat the giants to the Storval Stairs.
Like up north, that like woo. I'm looking at Jason's map.
Albeit we won't be
sure.
able to beat the dragon there.
Yeah, so the Storval Stairs is here. So you guys are at Sandpoint, which is way to the south along the coast. There's a bunch of stuff in between, like the hinterlands.
Quite a long
is this,
ways,
like, small
but
area over here. But you could, yeah, it is a journey. Yeah, you could try to take the, like if you went over to Wolf's Ear, you could possibly take the river.
Yeah.
But
Imagine
you're not
we would
really
be
going to
going
fit a
upriver at that
stone
point.
giant on a boat. Or that might be
Fair enough.
that might be a little bit more difficult.
How fast can we estimate a stone giant could move per, say, round?
Well, he was running pretty slow.
He was taking actions in between, I believe. Give me a nature or society check if you want to, or perception retroactively. I would allow that too.
I guess I'll do a perception check then. I
Sure.
think that's gonna be my best option. Try and think about it.
Oh, nice.
That's another natural 20 for total 40.
For 40, okay.
I remember perfectly.
Yeah, you can remember that they have a
Keen
speed
memory.
of 35 feet is what their speed looked like. So 35 feet per action.
Speed of 35 feet, and his name was Gorgon.
Yep.
Alright, so 35 feet.
I forget what
Well, we're
the
not getting
land
on
travel
hearts, I don't
speeds
imagine.
are based on that, but
He's faster than me without my fast
Hmm.
spell.
All right, so the fastest, if we didn't have to account for Gargan, probably the fastest way that I would think would be to take a ship from here to Roderick's Cove, and then another one up the Chocolate River, I think, right there. Guavali River.
this one, I think it's Chivali, maybe? I
Chivali?
can't read it
The
there.
chocolate river. That sounds so
I could-
delicious.
I could read it on my less blurry map of the area.
Oh yeah, Chivali.
It is
And then-
Chivali River.
Okay,
Chivali,
and
okay.
then cross over,
Mhm.
Chocolate river.
and then cross over from there.
Chocolate River.
Because that would mean we would be on a ship the entire time. I don't suppose there's any ships here in Sandpoint that can make that journey.
Not unless they're also made of stone.
Can they hold a stone giant?
I mean, he's big, but he's not gonna sink a boat by himself, is he? Boats can hold, they have boats that can hold 50 horses, right?
You're probably correct.
Yeah, I mean,
Not
he's
gonna pretend to be a seafarer.
pretty heavy. You'd have to recruit a boat that's willing to
Right.
take a stone giant on and also go I guess to Roderick's Cove wouldn't be a huge deal, but they might have some kind of surcharge for
hmm
those sort of
Taking a giant on board.
Yeah, for taking a giant on
Mhm.
board. They've also, I guess, since you guys are still standing around in the plaza talking to each other, shoot, I've already forgotten his name. Let me look at everybody's names again.
Probably have this discussion away from the.
Oh, was it
Plaza,
the
but-
gentleman who
Am I blanking
Who's
on his
going to
name?
talk to him,
Jasper.
Sirdak?
Jasper
Jasper?
Korvosky. So you guys are just whispering over off in a cluster with like the sort of leaders of the town, with the most important people, as you're trying to figure out your options. And Jasper would probably chime in that any boats that were still here have all left.
Probably smart choice.
Oh my, but he's pretty.
It's possible that we could have another a boat of an appropriate size requisitioned for you within a few days. I'm not sure when the next arrival might come to Sandpoint, but we'd have to wait for that. If you wanted such a thing. Otherwise, all we've
waiting
got
more
are
than-
fishing boats and logging.
If we're waiting more than one day, then our better bet is probably to travel to either Galduria or Wolf's Point and then go up the Lampblack River instead. Or cross it and go along it.
So how fast were we? It took us more than a day to go about 30 miles.
Mhm.
So it'd take us 4 days to get from here to Wolf's Ear.
With horses, with good
Overland.
horses that have a 40 speed,
Did we not have good horses that had 40 speed?
I don't know about Blitz.
My horse is perfect.
Blitz
My horse
is
has 80 speed.
Blitz was keeping up just
just
fine.
hanging in there.
But I think we
Still
could,
got the 40 speed.
and we probably have some spell. We might be able to have some spells that help us by now, like
Not to get
hustle
the giant
longer,
faster.
or
Not to get the giant.
mm,
I can get
Yeah,
us
he's
hustle
not getting
bit,
on a
but
horse. I don't think.
That was the bigger issue. Is we're going to be slowed by him no matter how we go.
fair
I
enough.
think a boat is going to be faster.
Yeah, so if
Even
you
if we
guys
have
are
to wait a couple days.
traveling, what's your slowest speed amongst you just walking?
25.
If we were all walking on foot, I think 25. But if we're all
Okay, if
riding
you're
on
so if
horse
you're all
back or
walking on
trailing,
okay, if you're all walking on foot, you get 20 miles per day. If your lowest speed is 30 feet, you get 24 miles a day. 35 feet, you get 28 miles a day. 40 feet, which would be horses for everybody, you get 32 miles a day.
okay. So if we need to go approximately 130 miles an hour or 30 miles, to-
Holy crap.
You-
About
130
can-
miles an hour.
about 4 days
Aye.
straight to Wolf's
Yeah. Yeah, so as you cannot hustle over long periods of time, that's not.
Mhm.
Versus boat, which is like 4 days, I guess.
Well, it would be however long to requisition the boat, and then however long it takes for the boat to make its way.
Yeah, I don't know how
To
long the boat
Roderick's
would take.
To Roderick's Cove.
It's gonna take
yeah.
like 2 to 3 days to get a boat.
Because it's about 200 miles by boat to get to Roderick's Cave.
Ooh.
Based on the map. I think waiting for the boat's going to be faster. Overall.
How fast does a boat go?
That's a good question. I have no idea. I was kind of hoping Asher would know with his
How would
knowledge of.
how would I know?
Well,
You know wood stuff, and boats are made
Is it
of wood
if it's a
usually.
wooden boat?
So it
the
was like
difference-
it's basically like it was like a week to go from Magnamar to Turtleback Ferry.
Aye, but that was
Um,
going upriver. If that made a difference on a ferry.
Wasn't it going
Yeah,
down
I mean
river?
Roderick's Cove up to here is also up.
Oh no, it was
river.
going
up
up
to
river,
Turtleback
you're
Ferry
right.
These are all upriver no matter what.
Well, it's open
I mean,
sea. Well,
aside from
bay.
that, yeah.
Well, that's what I was
Um,
talking about. I'm not talking about going up the river. We'll deal with that when we get there.
If
Adam?
the winds are favorable, I mean that's also probably. Let me think about it.
If only we were allowed to use wind spells.
Yeah, it's maybe like 4 or 5 days.
So it's 4 or 5 days by boat,
To get to Roderick's Cove.
plus however,
And
plus however
4
long
or
it takes to
5
get the boat.
days to probably get the same distance walking plus another boat. If they have boats.
Plus another 100 miles up the river, and then another 32 miles, so another full day traveling
Or we would just go across the river
to
and
go
kind
this
of.
way.
If we went straight, it would probably be just as easy.
Hmm.
Because I don't even know if the boat that we requisition could even get up the
Versus-
river.
Fair enough.
So I guess for
This
audio
stretch.
listeners, they're trying to go pretty far up to the northeast.
Yeah.
Roughly 250 miles northeast from where they are.
We were closer when we were at Turtleback Ferry, is basically
We
what's
were.
going on.
Yes.
We made a very long detour to come back and try and save Sandpoint.
I think we did an okay job.
We did a solid job, just not a great job.
I think we did an excellent job.
Yeah, Hook Mountain over to the Storwell Stairs is just about 2 days and
Aye.
change.
Well,
that
through,
explains why
through
she
mountainous
scooted
territory,
off.
which is a lot more difficult to walk through, but
Sure. Fair
Not
enough.
for me. I'll carry everyone.
Well, Asher can go on foot. The rest of us will go on flying horses. It'll be fine. No problem.
Yeah, I like it. So
The
what
issue
I'm
really
gathering
is
is it's
the
like the
giants.
same amount of time in the bay as it is walking.
Basically.
Mhm.
I think approximately it would be about the same amount of time either way. It's just a question of do we take a boat or do we go for it the whole
So-
way?
If we
Is there
take a boat, there's a lesser chance that a stone giant will also get attacked. I don't know how much people would go out of their way to try.
What were we saying on?
Is there any chance we can beat the group of stone giants that's
Can
going
you
to be taking the
can you-
prisoners?
Can you ride rock at all?
Not as of yet.
Okay. Then no, I don't think so. Unless we left right now and abandoned the giant, we would have to be riding horses quite hard. And we might catch them, but it'd be close at best.
I guess Mako might speak up here. Do you need to beat them there? It sounded like they were splitting up before they were arriving. Even if you were to try to catch up to some small group of them, you wouldn't be able to save all of them at once.
But there seems like they'll be meeting at the stairs, or at least all passing through the stairs, because that looks like the main way up the cliff.
That's true. That's
I
also
have a way
assuming
for
that
us to
they'll
get to the
actually go
stairs
through that.
fast. I can get us there. I can get 2 of us there fast. I can't get 3 of us there fast.
I just don't know if it's feasible to accept that possibly the timing through a pass is going to be that accurate if there's split up groups.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was thinking that we could get there fast enough to maybe ambush them one by one as they start coming through.
Not the worst plan. Just, I am unfortunately not capable of getting us there quite as fast as we need to
I
be.
could... What does this plan entail, Greshy?
Tomorrow I could prepare a couple of spells that would allow us to conjure, we'll call them Fey horses. And I'm only capable of conjuring a couple per day, 2 specifically. But they would
Okay.
be quite fast and they could fly.
How much time would it take you to get there, come back, and then pick up the second person? Or pick up the third person?
I mean, to get all the way to the stairs and come back?
How fast
Yeah.
are the horses?
I mean, the horses can go about 80 feet an action. So about
Okay.
double our normal horse speed.
so like
which is good.
70-ish miles a day.
Thereabouts. But I don't know if I'd be able to reasonably get there, come back, and pick up the other person and get there again
Can
before the giants start showing.
once you conjure the horse, can it continue to travel the whole day without further intervention from you?
Correct.
Okay.
So I could conjure a horse for one day, send somebody on their way, and then the next day I could conjure 2 horses, and 2 other people would go, myself and someone else.
Or vice versa. We could send 2 people ahead. You could stay behind, and then the next day you could
I could catch
conjure
up.
one and catch up.
Aye. So
Can a stone giant ride a Fey horse?
Of course.
No.
Do they have no weight limits?
The
So
2
that would
people who went
this would
ahead-
only go, what, 64 miles a day, right?
I
aye,
think so.
64. So it would be faster than the giants move
Mhm.
by quite a lot. But again, I can really only do it for 2 people.
We could also use
I'll
that
hang out with the giant.
to send someone ahead to make arrangements at the town, and then bring back supplies or other ways that we could go quicker.
Which town? Wolfseer?
Or
Or that one?
Galduria.
Oh, okay. There was just a few along the
Or
way. I didn't
even,
know which
yeah,
ones.
there's Galduria, Wolfseer, and Ravenmoor
Feasibly, I could
all
get to
along the way.
we could get to Wolfseer in 2 days. But I don't know what you would want to try and send back to speed things up.
So it'd be 2 days there, 2 days back,
Hmm.
2 days there. So 6 days to get 4 people. To
It wouldn't be
Wolfseer.
2 days back, it would probably be 1 day back. Because, say I stayed behind, I would have been traveling by horse
Oh, I see.
for those 2
Wait.
days
Are you going to abandon your horse?
and would be halfway there.
What happens to your horse?
Valid point.
Yeah, the logistics are complicated, but it would speed us up.
Can you cast
Considerably.
Phantom Steed for the horse to ride?
Yes, which can
I
the horse
cannot.
ride back on a fey horse?
I have checked. I cannot. I can. It only carries medium or smaller creatures.
Maybe I could spend this time learning to ride and training Rock to have a rider.
I mean, if you want to try.
It works in Phantom Brave. I know.
So it was an option that I'm willing to present. I just don't know how feasible it is, and ultimately, I just don't want to getting hooked.
It
on this
also-
idea that we're going to catch up.
It also doesn't still doesn't account for Gargun.
It does
So,
not.
so then there's one question: what would Gargun likely do if released in the human lands by himself?
Well, weren't we?
Suppose you
Oh,
could
I
ask
see
him.
what you're saying.
His options would be go ahead and join up with his people and warn them that we're coming, or go off in some other direction and try to sneak back to his home territory.
So I think if we released him, which is I think what I was saying before, in human territory, the chances of him being attacked seems higher than normal.
Mhm.
I'm not
Or
sure.
attack, or doing the attacking.
True, but he did ask for us to maintain his safety, which is
We
what
could-
I think he might mean.
We could ask Sandpoint to provide him an escort to the border of the human territories.
We could.
Do neither of you speak Dwarven? Do you?
I don't know what
No.
that even sounds like, Greshy.
Okay. It sounds a bit like French.
Oh, I don't know what that is either.
No, that's fine. Because it occurs to me that the deal is off if we don't actually take him up on the offer.
To bring him up there ourselves.
If we don't take his help in getting there,
Oh yeah, so like
then
wouldn't
we have no cause to try and protect him. We
Hmm.
could
I
just put
guess
him out of
if
his
we
misery here
got
now.
to the area, you can see the tower. But what if we get there and we're like, oops, we can't see the tower.
Or more accurately, even if we don't take his help, we've got a pretty good idea of where we're going. We could
Mhm.
also track giants as they make their way back, in case we can't take them all out. Effectively, what I'm saying is that I'm more than willing to abide by this agreement if we actually make it, and we stick to it.
Hmm.
I also see no reason why we can't just put him down now and deal with it ourselves.
Do we consider
Kill
the
him.
Do you not consider the agreement already made?
Only once we've actually fulfilled our end of the bargain, he's fulfilled his. We haven't actually
So
done anything.
He has
the
partially
agreement
fulfilled
was made.
Well, he
by
talked.
answering questions.
He bragged.
He what?
He bragged.
Did we listen to different things?
You think him telling us about the strength and might of the giants and the amount of them that there are and the things that they're doing is because he wants to be saved and he's afraid of us?
No. I just thought that he was telling us the information we had asked him. I did not hear any bragging. Perhaps he was bragging in a language I did not understand.
Jotун's got a bit of a thing with it. You have to listen to with the pitch of the tone as they're speaking. He's telling
I
us
don't
what
know
he
what
wants
that
us to know.
True.
And the
you
reason
think
he's telling
being
us what
sneaky.
Oh, I don't think he's being sneaky. I think he's being upfront about it. Giants are honorable in the sense that they don't consider us to be on the same level as them. Him telling us about all of these things is him telling us it's futile. It doesn't matter what we know. We're going to die anyway.
Asher's brain is on fire. Does not understand this.
All right. Well,
The giant has
There's a
clearly
little
said one thing,
wisp
and
of
Asher
steam.
heard that thing.
I think
It's like,
it would follow the spirit of what he's paid so far to instead ask Sandpoint to hold him for a few days, then take him out in the wilderness and release him.
Like a squirrel.
If you think that's wise, but I feel like that's just
Wise, I don't
going
know,
to
but
cause more problems.
in the they could take him as far as they please.
I
But
like
bringing him along is going to slow us down compared to what we could
I think
do.
the best option is either. I agree, but I think the best option is either to bring him along or to kill him
Ooh,
now.
I don't like the killing
think-
part, but I like the other one you said.
We can either take the agreement and abide by it, or we can reject the agreement and we can take care of him so he's not a problem for anyone. Doing half measures, while I understand that you don't want to kill him unnecessarily, he's still a giant in human lands. Either he's going to hurt people or people are going to hurt him.
And that's why I think we should take
not like
the
he can
boat
sneak
through
around.
the bay.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable. I guess it's the boat then.
Alright? And the harsh thing we can always keep in mind for later if we want to speed around some other way. It's an
I
option.
think it's unfortunate. Because I assume that you want to try and
Wait.
save the people in the bags.
You could conjure 2 phantom steeds and also cast. Wait, no, you couldn't. Flight wouldn't last long enough. Never mind.
No.
Some kind
Alas. If only.
of.
My flight is at best, I think.
It's,
maybe 10.
I think I'm thinking of. There are some items we could get that would let Phelan fly. Could have gotten.
There are. I'm sure there's some way that I could get Phelan to fly, but as of now, he's still pretty landbound.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's. I think seeing if we can get a boat. Where was that handsome man?
No,
Jasper?
and that's still only 10 minutes. Never mind.
Jasper truly attractive.
Yeah, I mean, Jasper's still standing.
Oh
there.
no!
They're
I
listening
know what
to
he
you.
looks like.
The long eyelashes. I mean, come on.
I can
thought
show
he
you
was kind
Jasper
of-
again.
Scary. This
How about
this
this?
man scares me. I don't know. He's so put
handsome.
together.
Hey, that's
So
what I mean.
clean.
It looks like he's got some really lovely eyeliner going
Yeah,
on.
he's just
It's-
really-
He's got to look.
He's
God
like
for him.
gelled up hair.
He's the only person in the Pathfinder world
It's
with
nice and
gel.
buffed.
Yeah, he looks like so put together. His
It's
angelic
actually-
eyebrows.
It's not called gel. It's called jazz. He made it himself. It's invented.
How about this? What if we ask Sandpoint to, and I have this feat that could help us out, to arrange transport for the giant to the border of the giant lands. I'll try that.
All right.
The feat is shameless request, which should come in handy. This is sort of shameless, albeit it's not shameless in a selfish way, which is more typical for adventurers.
Just worry, yeah, that when they get to
so-
the port, that they're gonna have to declare what they're carrying. And
I will
then they
ask-
declare that.
The mayor and the sheriff together. I'll get them together,
Okay, I mean, they're standing right there beside you, yeah.
and I
You
will
turn
ask
to
them. I will ask them to provide an escort and take Gargan as far as they can up to the giant lands. And I will make myself a diplomacy check
All right, yeah, diplomacy, please.
because we cannot afford to. I've
That
got
is
a
an 8 on the
29.
die for a 29.
Well, it's not great, but it's not terrible.
We cannot.
Okay. So yeah, you turn to the two of them and request. You ask if they would escort the giant north. They look at each other and kind of scratch their heads for a bit.
And while they're doing this, we will be chasing after the other giants and trying to get the townsfolk back.
How much time does this save us?
Potentially a lot. I think we can travel much faster without him.
Out of curiosity, I
I
want to
actually
do the
agree.
math.
It would probably be faster.
I'm genuinely curious if this like saves a day or 2 days.
Hemlock is kind of thinking, well, I don't know. I suppose we could. I mean, those guys
How would they do it?
Well, we could... I suppose we could send half the town guard to escort the one giant up north. That shouldn't be too bad, considering that all the giants just left. And we just have to hope that they don't attack us again while you're away. And hope that the one giant doesn't kill all of the guards, who are too individually weak compared to him. But since you asked, sure, I think we can do that.
Oh my god, they're all gonna die. Ooh.
Greshy is, the whole time that Sheriff Hemlock is talking, Greshy is staring at Gunn.
Asher is
with an "I told you
stressed
so"
out.
face.
Pacing back
All
and
right.
forth in the background, having a crisis.
I mean, given that this guy has no hit points, I think the sheriff himself could personally handle it, but the guards would have a hard time. He's right.
I mean, 0 hit points doesn't change his attack modifier.
Fair enough. And be chained up.
Round.
But yeah, he basically he expresses some trepidation, doubt that they
handle
might survive, but is willing to do
Okay.
it if you guys think it's a good idea.
So the town guard can't handle it. Okay, that kind of
The
wrecks
town
that
guard
plan.
could handle it, assuming nothing goes wrong.
Assuming the giant never
what he's
attacks anyone,
Yeah.
and that no one attacks the giant,
Basically-
making the giant angry at everyone.
As
So
long as
the
the
town
giant
guard
is
can't handle it.
cooperative,
Couldn't
I
we
think that is
just-
what is being said.
I don't mean to... Well, is it possible that we just let the giant go on his own? Does he need an escort of
We could ask
humans
if
he
he
could
just wants
easily
to go.
kill?
No, not necessarily. Depends. I mean, he might do some raiding of farms if we let him go.
Well, there's already plenty
that-
of giants doing that. I don't know if one more is going to make a huge difference.
Well, then I would ask that you hold him for a couple of days first, so that he can't rejoin his brethren.
Sure,
Thoughts?
we'll do our best on that, if that's what you require.
All right. Well, we still have our same two options: go without him or go with him.
thoughts, but it would require talking to Broderick Quink and doing some research to see if we could even accomplish it. But it might secure us at least some level of comfort in letting him go as is.
What is the thought?
There are spells to force a creature to submit to your will for an extended period of time, and not in the sense of they obey you unwillingly or unquestioningly, but that they will abide by a commandment, if you will. And we could put the giant under that last, I don't know, we'll say a week. Might be enough time for him to get out of town. We could basically say he's not to attack humans.
That sounds workable. I think we
would
should.
have to do some research to cast it, though, and I've never done anything like that before. I'm not sure exactly how. Asher might even be better at it than I am.
Ooh. I've never even heard of that. I don't know.
Seems.
I would have
seems
to
worth-
read the fine print on that one.
Seems worth a try.
What class of spell is that?
So Gaius, which is what I'm in getting at is a ritual spell.
Mhm.
It does require the primary check being either occultism, religion, or arcana. And Greshy is not an expert in any of those. But if we have an
This
expert in religion, which I think Gunn is, or an expert in occultism, which I think Asher is, that might work.
I am not an expert in occultism.
You would just have to find and learn the spell, which would take at least a day.
Well, that
Downtime.
was more the thing, is finding the spell, learning it, and then casting it takes a day as well. So that would be 2 days. But it would, if we succeeded, it would last for a week.
Father
We can cast
Xantus,
an unwilling creature.
do you know this spell?
He's not actually here currently.
Oh,
He's
We can-
back
Oh,
at
that's
the
right. He was out
temple.
trying to.
if he does know it, it's within his. I mean, it might be possible for him to do it.
It's possible. And if the giant was willing to undergo it willingly, we could even make it last. It would be easier technically for us to cast it that way, as long as our agreement was.
I guess either of you could
willing
make a
and-
religion check, either Greshy or Gunn.
I'm Gunn. Are you expert, or are you only trained in religion?
I mean, you can both
Let me see.
both of you make the check.
Okay, I'm just wondering if he is or not.
I am trained.
Okay, so that's a 26 on my religion check, unfortunately.
Okay.
Sounds
Yeah,
like
I'd like
none
to
of us
see.
are actually capable of doing this.
I like to see.
Yeah, I
Gunn's
don't
I
as
think so.
assumed one of you two would have taken expert at that level.
Seven. Okay.
27.
So Greshy, so while you are aware of the spell, you know that it's something that Abadarites are quite fond of, since they deal in a lot of contracts, binding and otherwise. And this is just a very magically binding contract. The bigger church of Abadar in Magnamar could definitely do this sort of thing, especially as a paid service. You have no idea if Father Xantus would know about it. Gunn, you've heard about this. You've read about it once or twice. It's not really part of Erastil's teachings. You likewise would think of it more as an Abadar sort of thing, and you know that Father Xantus is a priest of Desna. There are acolytes of Abadar at the cathedral, but they would be much lower level than Father Xantus is.
Okay. It doesn't sound all that promising to bet our extra time to invest in a lot of time up front, and especially since it would probably cost us so let's try and prepare a ship to take us from Sandpoint up to Roderick's Cove.
Right. Well, if they can get a ship together, then we can get the giant on board. I hope he doesn't get seasick.
Well, it's less about getting a ship together and more like waiting to see if any ships come through and then requisitioning them, but I can certainly try. I'll let you know the moment one comes in.
Appreciate it. So no ships remain? They all took off during the battle?
Well, the ones that were seaworthy did. Others caught fire. Those that remain are not going to be big enough to carry this giant. They're
That's fair.
more small fishing and logging vessels, more suited for traveling up the smaller rivers around here than sea travel or through the bay.
Should we just take the giant and go?
Could. I think it's kind of similar time both ways, even if we wait.
Yeah,
What do you think, Gunn?
I agree, it's similar time.
Okay.
But if you left now, did you want to leave right now?
Right now,
Or do you want to leave tomorrow?
I mean, if we're moving, we can move, but I wouldn't mind a rest. And to be honest, I know there's a lot of people out here who could use some help.
I think there's something I want to check out. So I would personally like if
It's basically
to take a day.
still morning, right?
Well, after you guys did all the firefighting and hanging around and getting him tied up, it's probably closer to maybe 2 p.m. by now.
Okay.
Take the
Then
day, stay for the night.
at this time of day or time of year, yeah, there's not going to be a whole lot more daylight left to travel in. I think we can
Yeah,
make some
it's-
preparations.
It's like late November Pathfinder time, so
I think we can make some
Do they operate-
preparations and then set out in the morning.
Do they do like daylight savings or?
Maybe
no.
they're on the equator.
They do not do daylight savings in Varizia.
Good for them. Well, I agree. I think that Asher's right. Going overland might just be just as fast, and we can stay here, and you two can do what you need to do. I'll spend some time with Father Xantus and see what I can do to lend a helping hand.
Mhm.
Well, and if
In
you
the
need
meantime, I
rooms,
guess if we
your
can keep
your
the
old rooms
guard-
are still there at the Rusty Dragon. Should you need them?
Oh,
Bethana's been
yay.
That's right.
keeping them spotless since you left.
I mean, I assumed you would have put some refugees in there. You're welcome to. Stables are fine.
We've had plenty of room for all the refugees, but
Right? I'm not going to say no to a bed. I'm just saying, slept in enough
I've
stables. I can
slept
deal
in
with
the
another night.
stables before. It absolutely ruined that one fight I was in. But I'd do it again.
Maybe not great for Asher.
well, do what feels right to you.
Rooms sound great.
Appreciate
I'll
it.
I'll sleep in them. But I also want
We
to.
do have that fancy yurt we could just camp
Oh,
out
I
someplace
forgot
if
about
they
the
need extra
yurt.
room.
I think we'll
Yes, you
get plenty
do.
of use out of the yurt on this trip.
I just like the word
Camping.
yurt. It's a fun, it's a
Yurt.
fun word.
Let's
Well,
all
at this
get out
point,
the
since you
yurt.
guys are just kind of talking to each
Talking about
other,
your yurt.
the crowd is
Repeating the
starting to disperse out of boardom. They
Mhm.
thought they were going to get something exciting
Oh,
here.
good.
So yeah, the crowd's dispersing. The important people who are kind of just standing around waiting to see if you guys need anything also start to wander off, and you guys are just left in the.
Somebody should start getting somebody should get some food together for the people who survived too.
I want to check something in the catacombs.
Sure.
I
Yeah.
don't know how
If you
dangerous they are.
if you.
Well,
would
I
like
say to
do that.
everyone, not
Oh,
And I
I'm
think
sorry.
we
just to Jason.
Okay.
sorry.
I think
I
we
say
should
that.
grab Broddert and go to the old light and see if there's anything that's happened or changed there.
So, are we doing this as a group, or is this something that you two want to do on your own, and I will go help keep
I can
people
take care of that
alive?
on my own.
I can also take care of mine on my own, I think.
Okay.
Before we
I'm going to
leave,
go find Father Xantus and find where they've got the people who are wounded, and I'm going to spend the rest of my day, for the most part, trying to help out there.
before you leave, Greshy, come over here for a second, so I can do a lay on hands.
Oh, actually, I suppose that would be helpful. Appreciate it.
How nice.
And I'll
Yeah,
throw
you're
in a
Like 83 of 153.
I'm only halfway. I'm fine.
I'll throw
I
in
thought-
a first level heal spell, 2 actions as well. So I get to try that. So you get 36 plus. Let's see. Dude. That doesn't seem right.
2 plus
Oh,
8.
it's right.
That's correct.
10.
Yeah, a level 1
Okay,
heal.
you get 46.
46 is, I mean, that's solid. That's pretty good.
Mhm.
Okay, he
And while I'm
places
at it,
both
I'm also
hands on
going to
you,
heal
and you feel the familiar pulse of healing, and then he releases a larger pulse of light into you that just gives a little bit of an extra boost.
Oh. Tingly. I appreciate it. And I'll give Phelan a bit of a comforting rub that heals him a bit as well while I'm at it, and then we'll make our way over to wherever Father Xantus is to try and help out as we can. Let me throw some healing at Phelan, though, real quick.
Rock, seeing that you guys are starting to split up, will flap his wings and just take off. And he'll kind of glide around for a bit and then land on one of the roofs. Whatever's like the tallest building nearby.
If you're hungry, I'll give him a pat. If you're hungry, buddy, by all means, go find some food.
Well, for now, he seems to be content to... He gets up and, yeah, he lands on one of these buildings. He's just kind of roosted there for a little bit. And just, like, preening his feathers.
That's nice. Hope the townsfolk don't mind.
Some people go ooh and ah, but after a day of giants, I think they're they're happy to have Rock instead, and not a dragon. Maybe a few people are a bit spooked and get a little bit of PTSD, but from seeing a shadow fly overhead. Cool. So that's the old sandpoint. Let's go to big old zoomy sandpoint.
This one.
Okay.
Okay, there it is.
I guess I could make the smaller version have all the labels as well, but I'll do that later. Okay, so yeah, Shalelu will split off and make her way back over to the inn. Ameko does as well. She says that they'll have dinner ready for you when you arrive. Yeah, Rock has just gone to... I guess he's roosting on top of the academy. Gunn has... Greshy has gone north to the Sandpoint Cathedral, along with Phelan. And, sorry, what do you, Asher and Gunn want to do?
I'm going to the catacombs, which are hopefully not creepy.
Okay, so you make your way over to the Glassworks entrance for the catacombs. And Gunn, where are you going?
I'm gonna have a quick stop by the armory and see if we can find something for Rock to wear. If they have any thing that will actually give him armor.
Okay, you make your way over to the Red Dog Smithy. As you approach, you see that the door is slightly ajar.
The smith was captured, wasn't he? Nobody's here?
You open the door and
Free.
you don't hear the usual tinking of hammer on metal. Inside, you can see a bunch of stuff has been clearly taken. And it looks like it's been ransacked.
Was free.
By humans or by giants? Were there any... Could giants have come in the door?
Give me a perception check
All right.
to investigate.
I have a 31.
Okay. Curious, you look around, you inspect the door. The frame doesn't look to be damaged, and a giant couldn't fit through that frame without squeezing through. You see... Everything you see around here looks to indicate that human-sized creatures, or smaller, came through and took a bunch of stuff.
Should come back with Phelan. That's not good at all. Phelan could probably help us find a trail. Maybe Rock could find a trail.
But yeah, it doesn't look like there's any sign of tampering with the door itself. Looks like the door is just open. But this, whatever was inside looks like somebody has come through and just taken a bunch of shit. Probably humans.
Like everything, or is there anything like
everything of
barding
value, basically? No, nothing that looks like barding here. Though he didn't really sell barding before that you recall.
Okay. Barding is what
armory.
I'm looking for.
Not the armory. So you can try the there's another place. What was the other place? Oh, so you got the smithy. Yeah, there's the armory as well. Sava's armory.
I'll check maybe behind the counter and see if there's any keys for the door, so I can lock up.
Okay, you make your way over to the counter and peek around underneath, and yeah, there's a set of keys there.
All right, I'll lock the shop as I leave. Take the
All right.
keys with me.
Shop is locked. Shop locked.
And then head to the armory, I suppose. Still looking for barding.
Okay. You
That
make
could
your way
also
over
be-
to the armory, and inside you see a vaguely familiar face. I don't think you've really talked to her that much. Where's her actual... Somewhere. Ah, there she is. Sava Vivaniki. Woman with a crossbow and kind of a jittery trigger finger. She points the crossbow at you as you open the door, and then quickly lowers it, realizing that you're a customer, not a giant or an assailant. Thank the gods. You're one of the heroes, right? Sorry, did you need something?
Actually, yes. I was hoping to find something that could help protect my companion, the giant eagle. Is he around? I'll look outside and say, maybe whistle, see if I can bring Rock.
Sure, yeah,
this
you
direction.
whistle, and a few moments later, Rock flies up and lands beside you, just outside the door.
This boy, and
Go.
maybe with some grips on it that could help me stay atop him if he's flying.
Oh, well, that's certainly a project. I've never built together armor for an eagle before, but I've got all the leather parts, the straps, everything. Yeah, I could do something like that. When do you need it by?
As soon as possible. We're planning to set out tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Well, I guess you guys have done us a lot of good. Sure, fine. Come on, bring him around back. I'll need both of you here then. We'll just do the fitting right now. And
Wonderful.
she leads you and Rock around to a covered rear porch area, and gets to work for measuring and fitting and cutting leather and all that sort of stuff. She begins to work on your barding. Okay.
I think we're going for, let's see.
You can
Heavy
figure out what that is, and I'll
light,
jump
yeah.
over to Asher while you're working
Right.
on that.
Oh,
Or actually,
boy.
I'll do Greshy real quick, and then Asher.
Oh boy.
There's not much to do for Greshy. Greshy, you make your way over to the cathedral. Father Xantus and the acolytes are there, tending to as many people as they can. When you show up to offer your services to help, they are more than glad to have you. And Father Xantus asks if you wouldn't mind sort of leading this group. He's got like 4 or 5 acolytes that he assigns to you to just kind of triage some of the caretaking and wounds, and a lot of people with burns from the dragon and the fires. A lot of people who had like sprained ankles and like broken shins and things from getting pushed around in the crowds trying to flee, and just some people who need comfort after what was a pretty terrifying evening. You're maybe less good at the dealing with the comforting, but
I would send anybody who needed comfort out to go hang out with Phelan.
Aw.
okay. Phelan's much better at the
With him
comfort.
for a bit, it seems to be. Oh, that's what I was thinking.
So yeah,
In the
you
meantime,
use...
I've got quite a lot of spells that I can blow to help with people, and otherwise just bandaging up, different wounds and applying salves to different burns and trying to set bones as best I can for anything that's not super urgent or life-threatening, and otherwise just that's how I'm going to spend my days. Teaching the acolytes what I can, and otherwise just bandaging people up.
Okay. Yep, they are more than happy to have you there, and you being there speeds up the process for them quite a lot. By the end of the day, you'll have basically gotten through pretty much everyone who is at least in need of urgent care, and only most people are able to just kind of return to their homes with some lists of medicines that they'll need to be taking for a little bit to deal with the rest of the lingering pain and whatnot. But yeah, you're able to help them get through all of that. Asher.
Good.
Me.
Here's the fun.
We'll see how fun this is. It might be the most boring thing ever.
But you're going into the catacombs. That has to be exciting.
There's nothing down there.
Okay.
Nothing down there.
I'm like, do I even still have the maps of the catacombs?
We cleared it out. I'm trying in my head to remember where everything was.
I remember there was a line, and then there was.
I know you
there
go
was
past
one room
the
here.
statue, and then there's the dirty water, which I have in a jar.
Mhm. Still.
And then you go into the
you've had that in
sin
the jar
spawn
since
room.
The first book.
I have the jars.
Yeah,
with me.
give me like 1 minute
Oh, the jars with
I can grab
Yeah,
the
it's
map
fine.
because I don't have the map anymore.
You never thought we'd go back.
No, not really. Where is... let me just grab my third action folder and all my maps. And Rise of the Runelords.
Asher, look for any of those fancy glass figurines.
Oh yeah, long horses.
When you make
We
your
do
way
need
to the
another long
entrance
horse.
of the glassworks, you can see that all of the glass figurines that were in the storefront have been removed. Ameko's had those basically packaged up and put into storage.
Oh. At least they weren't broken.
That's fair.
That would have made me sad.
I suppose you could ask her directly at some
Give me
point
a
for a
long
long horse.
Oh yeah, I guess. Oh, did you looked at? I can't remember what you did with that. You just saw it, but didn't actually take it.
Oh, I
Greshy,
buried it.
did you bury it? Where did you?
Oh, you
bury
buried
it?
it. Why'd you bury it? I don't remember why you buried it.
I buried it at Phelan's gravesite
Chris,
in Magnum.
Phelan has a gravesite.
Oh right, okay.
Aye.
Different Phelan.
Phelan number 6.
That was
Uh,
Phelan 2.
Let's see.
We're on Phelan 4.
You're one
right
of
now.
the people who names each dog the same name.
No,
Sorry,
it's the
this
same
is-
dog.
Same, different dog.
No, it's the same dog. It's Phelan, just
Different
different
Phelan.
Phelans.
Oh,
Okay,
this is okay.
something like this.
Oh, it was kind of almost there. I was thinking it was past the statue.
What was I thinking that was L shape?
I don't
Yeah,
remember
well,
how I ran this
anyway.
dungeon. I might not have used this exact map. But here we go. Here's the
I think
Remember
it
that
was-
bottom right room for sure.
Yeah, that's where I'm going.
I do. I for some reason I feel like there was an L at some point, but maybe the
I might
hallway's
have
longer or
I might have
something, but
reoriented the
who cares?
rooms. I do different things to each time. I might have built it by hand.
A lot
Um,
of this seems familiar. I'm just realizing, like, I'm trying to remember what the L was. Anyway,
I remember this goes up to the street. I think.
Yeah, let me give you a little Asher token.
This looks like the one we used.
it's similar enough that I would recognize it. I'm just trying to remember what it was that I was thinking of.
Yeah, the only thing different I would have done potentially
Oh.
is just like redrew it. Okay.
Hey guys.
So Asher, you enter the basement of the glassworks, and then make your way down into the tunnels beneath it.
Okay. Here I am.
Off the grid. I guess I can make you actually grid size if you want, but
Just going over here.
okay. Yeah, you enter the tunnels. As you I guess you're kind of in the bottom left, and I can't see you right now. You're over here.
All right, I'm coming.
You pass by on your right. There's the little alcove where you fought Suto. You get like a mental flash of just a memory of encountering him there, along with that sin spawn that he was fighting alongside.
Here I come.
You continue onward. There's the path leading to the north that goes like up a ramp, and the path to the right that leads through the broken down wall and into a kind of stony chamber.
Wee.
From there, you see the stone door. You open it and continue onward. You curve down a large hallway. And when you round the corner, there's another hallway just up ahead, like about 10 feet to your right. But further ahead, there is the statue of the red stone statue of the woman with the scowling face and the rancier and the spell tome in her hands.
She's very angry.
No longer has the runs here either.
No, she does not have the rancier anymore. She had a rancier.
We stole it.
You make your way around the corner, taking
Liberated
that
it.
first hallway on your right, and make your way down to the altar, where you initially found that gross water.
Beautiful water.
The beautiful
Alright.
gross water. It has since been cleansed. There's a bunch of like, I don't know, tape. There's like clerical caution tape over the old Lamashtu altar, since it has been kind of taken apart. And further, you continue and open the door to the next chamber, which is the larger kind of two-tiered room with the big pool of water in the center. The water there is clear, clean, and beyond that is the triangular rune well. It had been glowing a long time ago in the past when you, not a long time ago, near the beginning of the campaign when you guys fought the sin spawn that came out of it, but it has since completely lost its color. You see no bubbling energy coming from it, at least from where you're standing.
That's good. I'm going little baby.
I see. Right. You enter one of the. You make your way over to a closet, open it up, and look inside. I guess you step inside and close the door behind you.
Time to sit in this closet.
Oh, do you have anything to see in
Alright.
the dark, by the way?
I do. I have a torch.
Okay,
My
so
ever-burning torch.
you'd be holding your burning torch this whole time because it'd be
So I
dark.
can actually see. All right. Am I allowed? I don't know how I would do any kind of check to see if I could read things or see things on the wall. But this is the room I remember it being in.
Sure. Give me this would be a perception check. So, way back when you were first in here, you saw some strange writing, you think, or something. Yeah.
Something.
Give me a perception check to see if
I
you
want to
see it.
use my fate points for this, whether or not
Sure.
it's actually a futile attempt.
All right, you've got 9 points, so you can burn your fate points.
Let's try to see how worthless this is. 39.
Okay, 39 on the check. So you like squint your eyes really, really hard. You're looking at this wall,
I
looking
can't
at
wait for it not to work.
I mean, you're just kind of looking all over the place, just trying to remember what you saw that day when you were down here in the darkness. I wasn't prepared for this 1 sec. Throwing me the curveballs.
I was not prepared for a 39 on that.
This has
perception.
been bothering me since it happened to me. Like, I need to know.
Must know. It's gonna be one of those things where you never get to know.
No, you do see, as you're staring at the wall, every once in a while you do catch, just out of the corner of your eye, something like scraping against the wall. You kind of even hear the sound of almost like a chisel scraping against the stone. And you're much more focused than you were when you first came down here. You've learned so much, you've gained so much experience since then. Your senses are almost animal-like now that you've learned to tap into your druid senses. And you're able to pick up on these sensations just a bit faster than you used to. And you can see things being written out. So you're able to catch the, like, you hear the sound, you see the motion just in your periphery, you turn and look at it, and you see characters being written out on the wall. But they fade very, very quickly. They don't look like any language that you know. You can clearly see the words being written, but you're not sure. I mean, since you're just standing here, you can keep seeing them. A lot of them are the same words and characters written over and over again. You're sure that they're here, but you don't know what any of them mean.
I do have a paper kit.
You do?
I do actually have a paper kit. There's an ink pen, a quill, and sealing wax. Can I sit here and try and draw because I don't know what this says. Can
Sure,
I try and do
yeah.
like a drawing of this?
Yeah, you can, based on memory and just seeing the words written out, you can just keep trying to sketch. So you just keep taking up pieces of paper, sketching as quickly as you can all of the
Yeah.
letters you're seeing, trying to make out words.
And filling up this tiny
Yeah, you're
dark.
basically filling up pages of this. You've got the ever-burning torch just like propped up in the corner, and you're just every time you see a new word, you're like frantically trying to scrawl it out. You write a couple of variations because you're not really exactly sure what it means or what it says, but these things are just kind of drawing onto the wall, then fading very quickly, and drawing onto the wall and fading very quickly. But after a few hours of sitting here, you've got like 10 pages of writing.
God.
Non-repeating.
A lot of it is repeating, but since Asher's not really sure exactly how the characters are supposed to be written or how they look, a lot of them are variations just in case.
Okay.
Yeah, just because I don't know what I'm seeing.
Mhm.
All right, well,
Yeah, I mean, you could give me a culture check, I guess, but
I can try.
I was gonna say you're not trained in culture, I don't think, but society.
We
Society
all
may be
have
one of the things.
untrained improvisation, don't we?
I
Yeah,
am
you do have
trained in
untrained improv.
society, actually.
You can roll society, but
Asher knows
Oh,
enough about
no.
society to know that he hates it.
This is not good for Asher. A 29. Oh,
a 29.
it is a 15. I thought it landed on a 7.
That's what I was showing on my screen too, but
Yeah. Okay. With 29, you could at least. It's really hard to decipher this without knowing how to decipher languages or
It's okay.
or knowing what the
I
language
don't-
is. But you
But it is.
you
a
do get
language.
the sense that a lot of it does seem to be a language. It does seem to be writing. These do seem to be words. And a lot of the words are variations on similar words.
867
They seem to be variations on similar words.
I don't know. I guess I'm not super crazy spellcasty, but I wouldn't know any kind of spell that would make writing on walls. Would I know of that?
I think that's you're gonna have to prepare it, even if you do know it. You might know it. But,
No, I mean, like, is there like, would I be like, why is this writing on the wall? Is pretty much what I'm asking.
It could be a spell, could be a ghost, could be who
Oh, a
knows. There's all
ghost.
kinds of weird magical shit in the world.
I'm gonna go with it's a ghost writing a message.
Ghosts
I mean,
I'm
you
not
did see an
sure.
entire house full of ghosts writing, trying to inform you things with messages. So
So this is
Ghost is
certainly
very
a ghost.
reasonable.
All right. Well, with my 10 pages, I pretty much got what I came down here for. I'm not sure
Okay.
what I got, but I got what I came down here for. So I
Yeah,
guess hopefully I can find someone. Maybe Greshy or Gunn knows. Maybe someone in the town knows.
Yeah, you've got
Maybe later
something.
we'll find
It's some
out.
language. You have no idea what language it is. You've never seen it before. Is that true?
Well,
Yeah, I don't think you've seen
That
it
old
before.
smart man in town who might know stuff.
so
Yeah.
so
Let's
I'm going
see.
for a fitting for light barding, and then heading to Broderick Quink's house
Okay.
after that.
Yes. So she'll charge you half price for whatever the light barding would cost.
Oh, well, that's very nice. We might be able to meet Asher at Broderick's house after if I'm there for a little while.
If he
Yeah.
thinks to go there.
Well, I'm just gonna be hunting for everyone else if I don't.
Oh,
think
except
to
that
go
I was
there.
gonna take him to the old light. That's like right next door to him.
It's
But
literally
I did
right
know
outside
that
his
you were
house.
Pretty
going.
well, so.
You did, yeah.
Yeah, I did
And
know that you were
assuming
going
he's-
there.
Assuming he's home and didn't get captured as part of whatever there or killed as part of whatever the giants were doing. So let's find out.
Okay. Was that all Asher was doing down here?
Yeah, that's all I intended to come down here for.
Okay. So Asher returns to the town. Of course, it's zoomed in on Chopper's Isle.
Who starts in Chopper's Isle? There's something there. We have to go to Chopper's Isle. We never
You already
did.
went to
We can
Chopper's
just
Isle.
walk.
We did. We never
You can just.
I didn't
walk,
realize
yes.
we could
We
just
never went before twice.
Yes.
walk over it.
Yeah, Chopper's. You guys walked there before,
I know.
early
I'm
on.
saying we didn't go there twice though.
It's not really an island, it's a peninsula.
Yeah, it's more of a peninsula. They
Maybe
describe
when
it
the
as an
tide
island,
comes
but
in.
I was gonna
yeah.
say perhaps
Oh,
the
that's true.
sand
The
built
tide
up.
comes in. The sand is all probably underwater.
Mhm.
It's just low tide today and any day that you happen to be in town. Okay, so Asher, yeah, you come up from the glassworks. By this point, yeah, she's managed to Sava's managed to cobble together some armor for or barding for Rock. She tried to fit something more like a saddle onto Rock, but he was not having it. He was very agitated by the idea
Are there-
of the saddle
are there-
proper.
Things
But she
that
at
I
least-
could grab onto.
Yeah, she was at least
Like-
able to sneak on some like handholds at your request. So
Cool.
yeah, there's like some leg straps and handholds, but no proper like saddle to sit on.
Yeah, that
you're
makes
more
sense.
like kind of standing and or like leaning up
Yeah.
against him. Yeah.
Well, this will help protect you, buddy. And then also maybe we can go flying and travel faster. We can be scouts.
He kind of fluffs up willfully and then flies off.
Is he wearing it?
Yeah, he's still wearing it.
Okay.
He,
Cool.
he was like pecking at it the whole time, or like trying to tug at it, but
Well,
once
then we
he's-
can put Shalelu's scarf over it.
yeah,
Oh,
once you put Shalelu's scarf
Covered,
over
yeah.
it, it seems like he feels a bit more. It feels a bit more like clothing, and he kind of settles into it and kind of puffs his chest out a bit and struts around the yard. And then once you guys are done, he'll kind of take off and go hunting.
Okay. And I'll make my way over to Quink's house.
What a coincidence.
Yeah, sure. You run into Asher on the way. Did you guys want to go get Greshy, or?
I mean, Greshy's gonna
Oh,
be busy
I
all
assumed he
afternoon.
was coming.
Well, you guys don't see Greshy when you meet up outside of Broderick's house.
Well, he's probably busy with
Yeah,
talking people.
I think we should be able to work this out with just the two of us.
Look, I found all these. I told us
Just
this
the
big
two
pile
of
of
us.
papers. I found
what-
some.
Is this?
So when I was down in the catacombs last time, I thought I saw something on the wall. So I went back. It turns out there's something chiseling a ghost chiseling messages, but I don't understand the messages because I cannot read them, so I tried to draw them out. Do you know what any of these words are? I'm gonna show them to Gunn.
Unless it's gnomish or common, that would be a no.
Yeah, it is. It is neither gnomish nor common. You're not sure what these words are.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Could I recognize the script with maybe a religion check?
Yeah, you could try.
Even if I can't read it.
Sure. It'd actually be a society check, not religion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I am untrained in society, but I have untrained
can try it.
improvisation to make that an 18. Nope.
18. Okay. Looking at it, it doesn't look like any
great.
of the major scripts that you're aware of. It's not Shawanti. It's got some resemblance to Shawanti a little bit. Which is Shawanti are like one of the two kind of native peoples to this region, Shawanti and Varisians.
Okay.
But yeah, you're not really sure.
Unfortunately, I have no idea what this is. It's not from around here, I don't think.
Okay. I'm hoping that maybe Broderick might know. That's why I came over here.
You guys stare at each other.
Yeah.
I'm going to go see if he knows.
My screen is doing weird things.
Oh
Okay.
no.
Okay, so the two of you make your way over to Broderick's house, which is just beside the old light. The old light itself is still standing, I guess. It still looks like the big old ruin it ever looked like. If anything changed here, it'd be too hard for you guys to notice, given that you haven't spent a lot of time there. You approach Broderick's door. You can see there's a light on inside. It's a candlelight. And the window is open, but the curtains are down in front of it. You rap at the door, and you hear, yes, who is it? It's not one of those giants, is it?
No, it's Asher and Gunn.
Oh, Asher! You hear as the door opens and Broderick Quink's friendly old face appears again. Where's Broderick? I'll remind everybody what he looks like.
Oh, the cat.
His little cat. There you are, Asher. It's been so long since I last saw you. Gunn, too. How are you doing?
Oh, we're
How
doing
are you
all
doing?
right.
I'm
Did
doing
you get-
fine. There was a lot of noise earlier with the giants stomping about, but luckily they don't
They
seem
didn't-
to have done too much to my homes. How about you? Did the giants attack you?
We were
The opposite.
protecting the town to the
Oh,
best of our
that's good.
abilities. Several
That's good.
townsfolk have been taken and kidnapped, though.
Oh,
We-
that's less good.
From
you know
what we
who?
can understand, the blacksmith and several others.
Oh, I never liked the blacksmith that much, but
Well-
it is a shame.
Throwing shade.
The
Damn.
they were seeking people who were especially greedy, and
Well,
we believe they
that
might
would about
be
sum up that-
sacrificed.
I don't know if I'd go as far as to say that Das Corvid was greedy, but he was never kind with his prices.
There seems to be something nefarious about the way they're seeking that. We think they intend to sacrifice the people as to some kind of to draw some kind of power from a connection to the Rune Lord of Greed.
Oh, to Karzug? Ah. That's...
Karzug is the
Ah.
Rune Lord of Greed.
yes, well, I assume so. It's the last known Rune Lord of Greed. There were many Rune Lords back in their time, but it was a line of succession, and not
Yes,
much is known
all
about the earlier Runelords.
All these giants seem to be, and their other associates, the Lamia, the ogres, seem to be working in his service.
In his service? Surely he's gone by now. The Runelords died 10,000 years ago.
Doesn't mean his followers don't still serve him, apparently.
I suppose there's plenty of strange ancient cults these days. You never know what the kids are into.
We think they tried to take something from the old light. We were wondering if you could accompany us there and see if anything has changed.
Take something? Oh, they took a few of the bigger stones. I'm not sure what they were doing with them.
Just stones?
Yes, I was watching from my window as one of them, the big scary one, with the double picks, he kind of points, he gestures over at, you turn and see like a big, there's one spot in the wall that's just missing a big, a huge ass block of stone. A good, like, 6-7 feet. Not a full block like square, but it's like a strange. It's a broken shape.
Okay.
Yes, they took. There were 3 of them. Big one, 2 slightly smaller ones. They were all picking around, and they settled on that one.
I guess the good news is that carrying that might slow them down further.
Possibly. They seemed quite strong. They had a little special sack to put it in and everything.
Oh no.
It didn't look like that much of a problem.
Okay.
They have access to dimensional technology.
Yeah.
But I have
case.
I don't know if what they were looking for was rocks, but I was in the catacombs earlier and I noticed some ghosts or something. I don't know, but I found writing on the wall and I was wondering if you recognized what the writing was. I tried to draw pictures, but I didn't know the language, so it might be very rough, and I'll hand him the papers.
Okay, you hand it to him, and he lays it against the book he's holding, pulls out his glasses and sets them on his face and kind of adjusts them a bit to get a better view. This is quite hard to read, but this seems to be ancient Thessalonian.
At least we know what it is. Is there any way to translate it?
I know a bit. It's a little bit difficult. Let me see. How much can I actually get here? This one here. Yes, here. This one, you've written. These 3 words here, they all have to do with anger. This one here, I believe that's wrath. Over here, this grouping seems to be something about revenge. Getting revenge for something, a need for revenge. Unfortunately, none of these seem to be full sentences. They're more like fragments.
I wish I knew the language, because I could have read it if I was down there, but this is all I got. I don't know if other people could try and read it. I don't know if anyone actually knows enough.
Well, if you're interested in reading Old Thessalonian, I do have a few texts. They're a little outdated, and not all of what they know is confirmed, but I wouldn't mind loaning them to you.
Ooh, I do like books on weird stuff.
Just a moment then, and he he turns around and goes back into his house and starts rifling through his books on his shelf, and comes back with two rather thick-looking tomes. Yes, here's on Ancient Thessalonian, Volume 3, and Thessalonian for Beginners.
Oh, that's me.
I don't really have the rest of the volumes of the other set. They're very hard to come by.
That's okay. These are good books. I'll try my best to read them and see if I can gain anything. It'll probably take a while.
Feel free. Just do me a favor and don't lose them. They're very rare texts, and I know for scholars such as you, Asher, I don't mind loaning them out, but
Is there
I'm
anything
not a library.
here that...
I'll bring them back.
Of course not, sir. Is there anything here that looks like more of a continuous thought?
In those
Or phrase?
writings?
Yes.
It's hard to tell. Whoever was writing this, they just seem very angry, frustrated. I get a sense of maybe betrayal. But who or of what, I can't really say.
All right. Well, let's see then. Can you think of any reason why the stone from the old light would be special in and of itself?
Why the stone would be special? Well, I think I did tell you that I had a theory that this thing was some kind of super weapon, a kind of death laser?
Yes.
Perhaps it's... maybe the giants need that stone to build their super laser? Or if they could be building one as well?
Okay. What would they... So that particular stone, is it the material that you think they would use? Or is it the... Is there some trace of magic left in it that they could build off of?
Well, it seemed like an ordinary stone to me. Maybe they just needed that... Maybe they were missing that particular shape?
Oh. Interesting. Okay.
Well, we can always check it out.
Mhm.
You knew that the... Oh, that scared me.
I'm
You knew
I'm
that-
not sure why the sounds are coming through on... Why I turn those off? Oh well, that's fine. We'll leave them for now.
If it was a regular stone, I would have... I mean, if it could be replaced by regular stone, I would have expected that stone giants could totally just fabricate whatever they need from regular stone.
Oh, that's a good point.
So-
They probably could. Yeah, I'm not sure then. Seems odd. Seems like you could get this kind of stone anywhere. As far as ancient Thessalonian monuments go, they're all kind of made of the same stones, so why this one in particular, I couldn't begin to have a clue.
All right, I'm going to go down there myself on my way out, but thanks for your help, Robert.
You're welcome. Did you have any other questions for me? I know you guys were asking about Thassalon a long time ago.
I don't.
I
Asher,
have
do
a
you?
question.
Yes, Asher?
You knew the name of the Wrath, not the Wrath, the Greed Runelord. Do you know the other names of the other ones?
Yes, you asked me about them before. I did a bit of research to catch myself up on them. I could tell you all of them now if you wish.
Yes, that would be great.
Maybe we
Certainly.
should write them down, too.
Yes.
We need a nice song to remember them by.
Some kind of mnemonic.
Yeah.
Let's see. Unfortunately, I don't have anything as catchy as a mnemonic, but I can tell you a little bit about each of the Runelords. Perhaps that information will help you on your quest.
Yes.
Let's see. Do you have a pen and paper ready?
I do. Unless I used it all.
No,
But
you
I
have.
don't think I did.
Yes, sorry. Yeah, you have.
No, you have. Thank you, Ron.
There's some tucked into your bag right there.
Oh, thank you.
So, of course, we've already spoken about Elasnist, the Runelord of Wrath. Her favored weapon seemed to be the Ranseur, and her school of magic, Wrath, was tied to evocation. Next, we have Bellamarius. They are the Runelord of Envy. They wield a halberd, and their school of magic is tied to abjuration, which is like protection and whatnot. The shield spell is an abjuration spell. Evocation is like fireball and stuff like that, yeah. Of course, as mentioned, there's Karzug. He's the Runelord of Greed. He wields a burning glaive, and his school of magic is transmutation, the art of transforming things into other things. Then we have Kroon, Runelord of Sloth. He wields a long spear. His specialty is conjuration. Such as summoning, that sort of thing.
Wait, what was his name? Prune?
Kroon with a K. K-R-U-N-E.
Prune.
Like prune, but with a prune with a K.
Prune with a K.
Prune with a K. Next up, we have Sorshin. She's the Runelord of Lust. She wields a guisarme, and her school of magic is enchantment.
They're just all into all kinds of polearms.
Yes, in fact, I believe all of them use a polearm of some sort. Given that they were all very capable wizards, perhaps they wanted to keep foes at arm's reach. Better not to have enemies come in close. Next up is Xandergul, with an X. He's the Runelord of Pride. He wields a long hammer, and his school of magic is illusion. What better way to keep up appearances than with illusions of grandeur?
So not tricks.
What was his name?
Xandergul with an X. And a G-H.
Well,
X.
that is going to ruin my entire mnemonic.
I'm sorry. And last is Zutha, Runelord of Gluttony. They wield a scythe, and their school of magic is necromancy. Or necromancy, if you're a normal person. These, at least, were the last known Runelords. There were Runelords before them. There may have been Runelords after. But as far as records show, when Thassalon dissolved 10,000 years ago, the Runelords seemed to go with it. Not much has been really known about them since then. A lot of their monuments still remain in cities all over Varizia and beyond. The Old Light here, the Great Bridge in Magnamar, the arches in Riddleport. There's many remnants of their time. Some scholars say that the Shoanti people are in some way related to Thassalon. They practice the use of tattoos, which are known to have been very significant in the time of the Runelords. And many of their words and even some of their languages seem to be, if not derived, at least inspired by some of the language of the Runelords, the language of Thassalon. But unfortunately, all knowledge of the time period is basically gone. What little we have is only from stone tablets and the rare find from an ancient ruin. Everything I've worked on has been basically fringe work. I've been studying. I was in Magnamar for many a year, and moved out here to the Old Light to study it based on some theories of mine, but unfortunately I haven't gotten much of an advance lately. I mean, of course, with all the work that you've been doing, I've actually feel like I've learned quite a lot.
Hey. Cool. Was there, do you happen to know what any of them sort of looked like? Is there any that kind of, because we've seen a few statues, I assume the one under Sandpoint is the Wrath lady, but...
Yes, based on your description, it certainly sounded like that was a Lasnest, at least in representations that have been found of her. Unfortunately, there's not many pictures of the Runelords. Well, all people have left to go on are basically old statues. Karzug, I know, is known for... I believe he's been depicted with long flowing robes and... he uses some kind of... there's gems embedded in his forehead, I believe. But outside of that... I believe Xandergul has a lot of peacock imagery. Some say it's tied to some old peacock gods. Other than that, I can't remember offhand. And I don't have any picture books, unfortunately.
It's okay. I think we've seen a statue where a guy had gems on his head, though I can't quite remember where we saw it. Was that...
That was
Was it the
Thistletop.
giant one? Oh,
Yeah, was that Thistletop? I'm mostly
Oh.
talking to Gunn, sorry.
sorry.
Did we see that
I
Thistletop?
don't remember that.
I could have sworn...
Yeah, you might be right.
Because that was the room that the king guy was
Oh,
going
yes,
in.
yes. That area was at Thistletop. Okay.
Yeah. I thought that's who we may have seen there.
Yes.
But I've seen no peacocks. So maybe that's a good sign. Well, yeah, this is great information. And these books hopefully will help me figure out what the heck anything is talking about.
Well, good luck. They're pretty dense.
So am I. Alright, should we?
All right.
We should check out the Old Light, I guess.
That's-
We're right here.
That's where I'm headed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys
I'll
make your
follow
way.
you.
Yeah, you guys make your way over to the Old Light. Broderick will follow you just because he doesn't really have anything else better to do.
Hey.
I'll definitely just start it off with a detect magic and see if anything registers.
Sure, yeah, you cast Detect Magic and nothing registers. As you pass over the stones, you're just gesturing with your hand over the Old Light.
Okay.
Various stones. They don't appear to be magical. If they were, that magic is long since faded. They all just seem to be normal stones. There's only a few. Actually, do I even have a map of the Old Light? But there's not much to it. It is pretty empty. Do a quick look here. Old Light. Map. Oh, come on. See if there's anything of interest for you.
Usually you should just take some rocks too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys... So, you step... yeah, when you make your way in, there's a staircase leading down to a small chamber. And there's evidence that there were more chambers on top, but they are basically all collapsed in. There's nothing really there. You take the stairs down to a lower chamber, and it is also pretty thoroughly collapsed in. You see what appear to be basically archaeology tools lying around. Broader don't mind those are mine. I've been checking the stones and doing a bit of excavation here and there. I found a couple of small strange items, but nothing too interesting yet.
Any other signs of giants coming through and taking things? Other than a big chunk of the wall?
No, they didn't seem to want to go inside. I don't think they even went this far. They mostly were just talking in that giant tongue outside for a while, and eventually picked out a rock and took it.
Okay.
Can examine the rock. I don't know. I suppose it wouldn't show anything, but I can stare at the rock and listen to the rock and lick the rock and see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, you do all those things and more. Interacting with the rock, you don't come up with anything. It just seems like a big old normal stone. Can't stop the rock. No, it's basically just a stone. It's really well carved. This stuff is pretty heavy. This probably not easy for humans to carry. These stones, they're like large, they're really big stone bricks. You would have had to wheel them in or something. This type of construction looks pretty difficult to attempt in the modern era without magic, probably.
Well, they wanted that brick enough to come in the town, but I cannot for the life of me tell you why. This brick tastes, looks, and sounds like a brick.
Yep, me either.
Miss Greshy, do you think Greshy knows
Didn't have
about
anything
rocks?
written on it, did it?
No, I haven't seen much in the way of writing anywhere in here. I did find at least this one rune on one stone that I'm pretty sure is the second half of like storm or something, but it's
Okay,
hard.
a
It's really
rune-
hard to read. It's very
Where's that?
worn. Oh, it's back at my home. It was clearly some kind of label, not a magical rune, just a character.
A rune stone, or having found a rune. That sounds like a real possibility. That they might have taken some kind of latent rune in the rock.
Perhaps. Honestly, I wish if they had such an interest in this place, they should have just asked about it. That's what I was telling the Sheriff Hemlock. They should have just asked. I would have let them come look. Perhaps we could have shared knowledge, exchanged historical information.
That would have been very nice, I think.
Yeah,
But sadly, that didn't happen.
but sadly they probably want this in order to destroy all of human civilization, so...
That's very negative, but probably true.
Well, if you find out that their mission is more altruistic than that, be sure to let them know that I'm always welcome to share whatever knowledge that I have.
I will absolutely do so. But we should honestly bring Greshy over here. I don't know if dwarves know things about stones. Maybe that's a stereotype and it's unfair. But now that I know Greshy
that is
a
exactly
dwarf,
what your character would think. Yes.
Seems like a stereotype.
Yep.
Is it offensive if I ask Greshy?
I
Gunn?
mean, just asking, probably not.
I feel like no matter what I say, Greshy may or may not get offended by it, but in a good way. A fun way. We should ask Greshy about this rock.
Well, feel free. I'm gonna go back and finish working on this new scroll I picked up. It's good seeing you guys again. Let me know if I can ever be of any further help, or if you find any great Thessalonian artifacts or writings. I would love to read them myself.
Yes, I'll make sure to bring back something cool if I find anything.
Excellent.
Or
Thank
if I
you so
come
much.
back.
Just don't bring me the sin spawn head. That's less exciting.
Oh! Okay, well, now I'll have to consider what I bring back more carefully. Bring back something written.
All
bring a
right,
book back.
he makes his way out, and you guys step outside.
We should find Greshy.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Where
you
did we
guys go over towards the cathedral, and it is past time, so I think this is where we're going to call it for tonight, unless you guys wanted to have a quick conversation.
Greshy, we have rocks. Do you want to come look at some rocks?
Oh
no.
Why you want me to look at
Oh
rocks?
no.
exactly?
I thought dwarves like looking at rocks. No, that's not what I meant. I thought that maybe you would know something about the rocks. Because humans don't know anything
What?
about rocks.
You guys are
Well,
currently
now
just
I'm not
standing
sitting
out
as
in
well.
the courtyard outside of the cathedral.
Gunn, help me. I'm struggling.
We've been trying to figure out what's special about the old light. The giants seem to have taken a chunk of the wall. Broder sort of just let them. I mean, I don't know what else he would have done, but
I don't
yeah,
think
he saw
was-
them. He saw them come in, cut out a big chunk of wall, and throw it in a sack and leave with it.
Chunk of wall.
The only thing I could think of is
Oh.
it might be a rune inscribed there that they were looking for.
It's possible if it was magic from whatever that civilization was back in the day.
If it was magic, I think the magic is all
But-
worn off, but the rune itself might still be important.
Well, Gargun was saying that that Mokmorian has a way of finding out information from
Oh,
stones,
that's-
learning
Can you
things
like
from them.
read history from something like a stone?
I can talk to animals. I can cast spells to let me talk to plants. There may be ways to talk to stones.
You can give
I've
me
no idea
a
how.
nature check
done
if
it
you
myself.
want.
All right. Let me find my nature here. Throw that die. It's a 25.
25.
Unnatural 7.
Let's see. This is
Halfway attempted. You know what? I'm gonna hero point that.
okay.
'Cause I
Go
feel like
ahead.
I could do better.
Don't do worse.
I mean, I could also do very, very worse, but I'm going to take the gamble anyway.
Hey, that is better.
That was better. 29. Slightly better.
29. Yeah. I mean, your line of
Unnatural
reasoning is possible. You don't know of a spell that could do such a thing specifically, but you wouldn't be surprised.
I've no reason to think that they couldn't figure out how to talk to stones. I just don't know how you do it.
Okay.
They don't live in the same way that plants and animals do, that they would be communicative, but they're natural, and natural things do keep memories, sort of way.
Do you have any spells that could destroy a large volume of stone?
Large volume?
Say 10 foot by 10 foot.
could do. I could reshape it a bit. Probably just pull it right out if I'm careful with it.
What about destroy?
Straight up destroy?
Like-
Not really.
What do you want to destroy?
If we could get a clean shot at the stone that they're carting
Oh,
back,
okay. I see.
we could prevent them from carrying it, like without necessarily having to win
I
against
thought
the
you
entire
wanted
group.
to destroy the lighthouse.
Well, so
That's where my
if you're
mind went
talking
first,
to a
but-
stone.
I was like,
Oh,
oh my
sweet.
god.
When he said
If-
10
if-
foot, I was like, okay, more reasonable.
If you're talking to a stone, I don't know if the size matters.
Hmm.
We can take a little bit with us and
Now,
try and talk.
If
to
you're
it.
correct and it's some sort of rune or writing that was on the wall that Brodert couldn't figure out, then that would benefit from us destroying it, and I could shape it into some other form that would break that.
Hmm.
But that might take. I would have to get close enough to touch it
Hmm.
to really do that.
Okay.
That's unfortunately not something that I'm quite strong enough to do from a
The
distance.
fireball also wouldn't be enough to melt it, but is there any?
Highly unlikely.
Do we
not
have
stone.
anything to just cause it to crumble or disintegrate?
Nothing at my disposal.
Okay. Just checking.
That's fair.
I'm curious what they will learn from the stone.
Not a clue.
Well,
Well,
as the group ponders this bizarre quandary, I think we will end there for the evening. And you guys can figure it out in between sessions, or
yay.
Yep,
learn
the
next
most
time.
likely thing is that we'll leave in the morning and
We should take a little piece with us
Would do.
and
can.
continue to lick it and speak with it at night.
If you just lick it like 20 times in a row.
Ash just gonna talk to it
Starts
every
talking.
night. He's gonna be like, "Good night, Stone. Good morning, Stone. I'm putting you over here, Stone."
all right. Well, Asher's gonna go grab a stone from the from the old light, and in the
Yeah.
morning, our adventurers will figure out, I guess, what they're gonna do next. But until then, until next time, thank you all for joining us. Hope you all had a nice, relaxing evening listening to the sultry sounds of our voices. Yeah, join us next week. Same bat time, same bat channel, 8:30 p.m. Pacific time at twitch.tv/thirdaction. That's it. That's all I got. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Farewell.